internationally that he's spoken about. Our final speaker on the winning formula, before we get on to other keynote speakers, is a lady who has achieved very tangible results in coaching businesses, management teams to benchmark their performance and come back a year later and improve it. She's going to tell her own story. She has a really successful record as a business coach, as a trainer. She's a highly acclaimed speaker. She's had a career with Elan Pharmaceuticals that you'll be aware of, international success story. Please give a warm welcome. She's a judge later today, Marina Bleahen.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, as a Galway girl from Ballinasloe, I have to congratulate Pat and Chanel McCoy, who I'm very proud of, and it was great to meet Brian earlier on, and of course we're very proud of the Galway hurlers, so roll on the season. Coaching not just for sport, we believe in creating champions in business as we go. So today, going from the talks earlier on from our award winners, retaining top talent is a huge challenge. Who agrees with that? Yeah? Show of hands. You know, holding on to your good people, finding good people. So in my second part of my very brief 10 minutes or 9 minutes, I'm going to share some solid strategies with you on that. But as Ivan said, in terms of ActionCOACH, we're the world's #1 business coaching organisation. The reason we are is we get results with our clients. Average growth in Ireland last year was about 6%. Ours achieved 19%, 66% profit. The reason I can say that is because, as Ivan said, we do measure. So I want to show you a formula in a minute about testing and measuring so that you really are running your business by numbers. And I think I learned that from you many years ago, Warwick, when you were saying flights on time, lost baggage, 2 KPIs. We are absolutely on KPIs. But as the common theme today is all about the people, so I'm going to spend most of this short time speaking about people. Have to give you our winning formula. This is our 6 steps to build commercial, you're making money, profitable, you're making profit, organisation that can absolutely run without you. We don't want you, as close as you can have a hurl, to be in contact with the business. When you do it properly and you set out with the end in mind with the vision, you can actually build a business that is fit for sale, that will pass due diligence, so that you're creating a value, not just a self-employed business owner where you're constantly on the treadmill. I think it's very important to put those systems in place, hire great people, so that you can A, retire, play golf, enjoy your family, and that you weren't kind of just the great provider. Because my very first career was a radiographer in Beaumont, where I scanned and met all the unfortunate people who would have head injuries and life change like that. It can happen. So this is one life, it's not a rehearsal, it's showtime. So here at the bottom, I'm going to just put up this whole formula. Mastery is get your vision, manage your time, know your financials, run your business by numbers. Niche is the second one there, and I'm going to give you an insight into actually making your marketing work and measuring your numbers. Leverage is about putting systems in place. Have systems to do everything. Systemize the routine, humanize the exception while you're waiting for Pat's robots, which I'm sure everybody is very interested in. They're being built. I will talk about team. Team are the backbone of every organisation. So it's about allowing and creating a culture and an environment that your people can excel. I'm a huge fan of Jim Gavin's, even as a Galway girl, but I've watched closely what he has done with the Dublin team, and we work with many of them in their business sides. He allows people to bring their best self to work. He empowers them. So if every business organisation did that in Ireland today, we would be just flourishing, excelling even more. Bring it on to get synergy, everything working together, where you're really running like a well-oiled machine, so that the business can expand and replicate, go acquire and buy other businesses. If you implement this formula once, you can run it forever. So very quickly, everybody here, I hope, who's in business knows how many customers they have, they know what their sales are, and they know what their profits are. I'm not going to ask you for a show of hands. These are all results. What we ask you to do is look at this formula. Where their results are in red, there are equal signs in front of them, and they're made up of measuring your leads. Who in the room knows how many leads they got this week or yesterday into their business? Do you know your conversion rate by each individual salesperson? Do you know further down your average euro sale, and it could be in a Supermax, and McDonald's were the classic ones first there. They were in business before you, Pat. But their question, would you like fries with that, increased their average euro sale by about 30% straight off. Do you want to supersize it? We do this with professional firms. You know, with a law firm recently was kind of saying, do you want a will with that? You've got to get your average euro sale up if you can't get more customers. Be clever, know your numbers, measure it, is my message. I'm going to put up all the numbers here in the interest of time. Usually I walk through it very carefully and slowly. You can see that maths formula there. Number of leads, converting 1 in 4 to get 1,000 customers. And buying from you, say, twice a year. Let's keep it simple at €100 per transaction, turning over 200,000 at a profit margin of 25% to give 50,000 profit, okay? We have 365 strategies to increase leads. We work with people on KPIs, engagement and everything, so that each individual owns it. They know their place on the team, they know what they're supposed to do, and they report all the time. For this maths example, I'm going to increase it all by just a mere 10%. So you'll see that your number of customers increased nicely, but look at your sales. Look what's happened to the sales by growing these numbers and knowing these numbers. So it's not an accident, it is a winning formula. Know it in your business and you will just flourish, you will get the profit. Profit is up 61% here, sales are up 46%. It's a nice one, yes? Okay, so this is about the money and the results. Now, I'm going to move on very quickly from that business education. At ActionCOACH, we are about business re-education. We're about getting people to do it differently, to change how they behave. Coaching is about change. You know, my golf coach said, you've got to change your grit, Marina. This is the same in business. I'm going to talk to you about people, about engaging them at their heart and mind level, because it is the people who are the magic formula in any business. So look at this. In every business, we have people in each of the 3 different categories. The ones in green, let's start there. They're the highly engaged. I hope all the bosses, managing directors, actually show of hands. Who are the managing directors and business owners in the room? Excellent. Okay, the employees. Who of the business owners and managing directors wish they were an employee? Don't put up your hands. They might see you. They might see you. Okay. So, highly engaged people do more than's expected. They go the extra mile. It's who we all intend to be. However, not true in every business around the world and indeed around Ireland. And I'll give you some numbers on this in a minute. Disengaged people are the ones in the middle. They show up, they do what's expected. They probably have the porridge on the desk at the start and they're just doing what's expected. And then there's a category of people who are actively sinking your business and they're doing less than is expected. Our job is to change that. And today I want you to take away a couple of ideas on it. In Ireland, this data is transferred from a Gallup study, an international study. 14% only of people are highly engaged, doing what's important. So let me show you. Consider it as a rowboat. And I will give you the number. Interestingly, Brezzy asked if you could only quantify how much is it costing you, this lack of engagement. And we know the number. I'll share it with you now. In a rowboat, if you're to do an engagement survey, and we do measure, we can just send out a survey to everybody, we get a number back, and we say that's your level of engagement. So you can see there, the 2 lads in the red are the ones who are actively trying to sink your boat. And in a time of full employment, and we are pretty much at full employment, yes, you need to lose those people or change them into the blue or all the way up to green. You need to get more people at the front of the boat rowing in the same direction. It's like aligned, absolutely rowing like a rower. You've got to create that place where there's a common goal and a buy-in, where the vision and mission come off the wall and actually mean something. It's like the tribe of Nelson Mandela's father. You know, it's open talk, it's in a circle, and I'm going to show you the engagement keys of how to actually change this. But here's the fact. It's costing you It's costing you 34% of your salary to every individual in your company. So think of your wage bill for a month. Average, I looked up one industry average, 45,300 odd is an average wage of everybody in Ireland on some statistic. Multiply that by a 0% engagement and then correlate the 34% loss. This is costing 15,000 per employee for one employee. So in a firm with 10 people, it's 14,000 wasted
take it up to 100 people, how much is being wasted? When you can actually change, it is about the people. And I'll show you here. It's not about the systems and processes. Look at the brain side here, the thinking, logical, doing part, the human doings. Come into work and be a human doing. Brazzy nailed it. It's about human beings, bringing their best selves to work, looking after them, engaging them as humans. Because look at your body, this is the radiographer again, we're all human. When your heart is pumping, really pumping, oxygen is flowing around your body, so your business is working really well, it'll work better. The business will work better if the heart and the softer things, the engagement and communication's going better. Deloitte says people don't want to learn by traditional training anymore. Don't put me in a room and give me a folder and get me to do work. Online training works for HACCP and that kind of functional health and safety. You've got to engage your people. The younger people, Chanel said, are absolutely looking for an experience. They want to be involved, and they will not move if they're engaged in the company, it'll take a 25% salary increase for them to move. If they're not engaged, they'll even go for less money. I don't matter here. This is what happens when you've got employee engagement. You get improved productivity and profitability. The business flows better. Finally, look at this. If you take your people out, we're all out here today. We've come to learn with the expert, which is fantastic. So if we're in the business is a bit mucky, or the fishbowl isn't as clean as it could be, or we think we can grow our business and increase our performance, it's like jumping out here. You jump into a clean fishbowl and you say, I'll go home now and I'll implement all of that. And it's the same if you send people on training. You've got to get them to work it all out together, really get an aligned process, everybody on the same page, introduce reward and recognition, have that community purpose and buy-in so you really are listening to your people so you can take your business to the next level. So we're disrupting. Traditional training is dead. It's about coaching for performance and taking your business to the next level. So we'd love to see you later on in the Hogan Suite. Thank you.
All right. The bad news is we are 20 minutes over time, so I'm going to drop the panel discussion. I just have no choice. But please give your collective appreciation. Completely varied speakers. As you know, your stand is out here. Yeah. Marina?
That door.
That door there. And both Porrick and Michael will be around over lunch and during the afternoon. So if there's anything they said that you're shaking your head about or you want more elucidation, please do feel free to come up to them. They will be here for the day. We have 3 keynote speakers between now and lunch, and I want to move on to them.